Hello everyone. We are in special days. In between the liberation that we had yesterday, the liberation of the Mittler Rebbe, the second Rebbe of Chabad, and we're coming up to the liberation of the Baal Tanya, the first Rebbe of Chabad, the master of Hasidus Chabad. And in between all this and all these special days, special moments, we're having this Shabbos coming up. And this Shabbos is called the Shabbos Parshas Vayishlach. And what's so special, big, or great about this Shabbos? That we are, as we said, a Shabbos in between all these special days. But definitely, a Shabbos like this is always related to the Parsha of the week that we are going to be reading at this Shabbos. And one short point, as this Parsha talks mainly about the battle between the two different people, and this is Yaakov and Esav, Jacob and Esau. Yaakov being the ultimate good, and Esau the other side of the fence. And we'll learn about the battle of these two, and we'll learn about the peace and the love and the kissing and the hugging that there was between these two, as we learn in the depth that Jacob, after all his work, he was able to accomplish and change his brother to love him. In between all these points of the Parsha, we're learning about Jacob. For certain moments he was left alone. His whole family was on one side of the river and he was on the other side of the river. And it came a fellow and he was battling with him. And we learned that that fellow was the angel of his brother Esav. And that a battle together, as we learn that the angel was trying with his arms to take over Yaakov, and Yaakov was trying with his arms to take over this angel. And the Gemara tells us that from the battle of both of them fighting, there was dust, a lot of dust. And it says about the dust of Yaakov and the dust of the angel of Esav went up to the throne of God. And as we know, Jacob won that battle too. But what is the idea? What is the point of the dust of that battle that went up to the throne of God? And the deeper idea and the deeper meaning of that is, dust, we know, is the lowest part in this world. It's even lower than earth. Earth at least grows. It's a soil that can grow from that. Dust is even less than that. And the whole idea is the dust, the lowest of the lowest, and the lowest of Esau, the lowest of the angel of Esau, even that Yaakov, through his battle, he accomplished to bring that up to the throne of God, all the way above. And that was the mission statement, that was what Yaakov accomplished, is to bring the lowest of the lowest, even the dust, to bring it up to Hashem. And this is the mission of every Jew, and especially in these times, to take the lowest of the lowest, and even that to use for our mitzvah, even that to bring up, to make it holy for Hashem. That even dust, this also should be for Hashem. And as you all know, there's the famous story. There's a long story, but just a point of the story, it's relevant to us. About this particular fellow, he went up to heaven. And when he came to heaven, it came a day of judgment. He was sitting in front of all the judges. And they asked him, did you do anything good? And unfortunately, there was not much to find. And the scale is there, as we all know, the scale of good and bad, and the scale of negative kept on weighing way over the positive. There was nothing good that he did. But finally it came an angel, and he brought a chariot with people, with horses, and he put it on the positive side. Because what happened once this fellow saved a whole family of people traveling with the chariot, and the chariot almost fell into a pit, and he saved them. So that's a great mitzvah. But with the chariot and with the people and with the horses putting on the positive side, was still not enough to overweigh. Yeah, too much negative. So what did the angel do? He took all the mud that was around the wheels. Because when the chariot goes with the wheels in a muddy day, when that's what happened that day, it was a lot of mud on the wheels. He took all that mud and he put it on a scale too. And the court of heaven says, what is mud doing over here? So the angel said, because this mud is a part of that chariot. And when he did the mitzvah, when he saved the people, the mitzvah includes also the mud that was stuck on the wheels. And this mud, as the famous story is, overweighed the scale to the positive side. And that's the story, that even mud, but if it's be used to positive, it becomes a great mitzvah. And that was the accomplishment of Yaakov. And that's our accomplishment that we have to do every day. And that's the beauty of Chassidus that the Alter Rebbe gave us. And that's the liberation coming up next week. At the Mittler Rebbe's Sunday, the liberation was yesterday. That the whole idea of the Chassidus world is to take the lowest of the lowest, even the dust, and bring it up to the highest of the highest. And the beginning of this mission started with Jacob. But the end of this mission is got to be with us. We are the last moments of our mission. Or when we hopefully accomplish our mission speedily now, that even the dust, even the mud becomes mitzvah, becomes a great connection to God. And Mitzvah Shem, even before Shabbos, the mission will be accomplished and Mashiach should be with us. Have yourself a good Shabbos and the great celebrations for Yutat Kislev.